Okay. Those in seating 5, Mr. Ford and Hernandez, Mr. Messenger, Ms. Bund, and Mr. Sharma and Mr. Friedman, we have a logistical problem here, and I'd like to accommodate the testimony of Ms. Crawford so that she wouldn't be impacted by thousands of dollars to get back to her place of residence and her job. So I would like seating one of the voter lists to take place now. Ms. Crawford, when you're done, you'll be able to exit. So if Ms. Crawford, Mr. Velasquez, Mr. Torres, Mr. Micklejohn, and Ms. Davis can come forward now, I'd appreciate it. This testimony will be addressing whether or how the rules should address voter lists. Ms. Crawford, you can proceed.
Thank you so much. I have been a registered nurse for 26 years and an employee of Universal Health Service, UHS, for 20 years. However, I am here today to share mine and some of my colleagues' point of view regarding the NLRB elections. I am not representing UHS in any way. Last year, RNs at my hospital and its sister hospital moved to organize a union without success. Please allow me to share with you how the current process could be changed to be fair and equitable to all employees. I strongly support the board's proposal to require personal phone numbers and email addresses on the voter eligibility list to be shared with the union earlier and electronically. RNs communicate with each other and the union through cell phones, text messages, and emails. This proposal would not hamper employer free speech interests. Even before the RNs at our sister hospital filed for an election, the company had begun its aggressive anti-union campaign at my hospital. It communicated with the RNs frequently, every day, in person, and by sending messages over the internal electronic mail system. The company also sent anti-union text message blasts to the RN's personal cell phones, even though the system they had used had previously been restricted to managing our work schedules. In my experience, last year we had a difficult time getting accurate union information to the RNs at my facility because of the lack of contact information that is provided. Where the employer had access to a myriad of methods to contact nurses, we lacked reliable contact information with which to inform the nurses of their options. We did our best to contact the nurses, but we were limited to outdated forms of communication. We held multiple informational meetings off campus, but it was difficult to get RNs to attend another meeting. Most RNs work 12-hour shifts, and have families at home. They do not have the time or the energy to travel to attend an informational meeting. Their families are their first priority. If we would have had access to their contact information, we would have been able to provide accurate information in a manner that was convenient for them and their families. As it is now, the process doesn't work. It needs to be changed to make it fair for every employee. This proposal merely gives the petition for union a chance to respond to the employer's arguments and criticisms before the election occurs. And this in no way would limit the employer's free speech rights, as they can continue to speak with the employees on paid time on every shift leading up to the election, in person, by our work email accounts, by having to attend mandatory meetings, and by text message on our personal cell phones during off-work hours. Therefore, employees don't get all the necessary information from the union to make an informed decision. Employees deserve to have access to all the information, not just the one-sided information that is being forced on us on a regular basis. The proposal would help to level the playing field. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to talk about this important issue.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate your coming forward to to talk to us. I think it's important to get views from workers. I have a question. When during the campaign, without email or text, phone information, how sort of what were the forms of communication? You mentioned some of them for the union to try to respond to the text blasts or the emails that were coming from the employer.
I'm sorry, what was the last part of the question?
How was the union's form of response to text blasts and emails that were coming from the employer?
The union didn't have any response to that. As the employees, we were a little shocked to get the text message on our personal cell phone. Again, like I said, that was normally just used to tell us when you're working, when to come in. So when we got that, we were like, whoa, what is that? But the only way we could get information out to the employees is by going to their home. All we had is an address. If we would have had personal phone numbers or emails, we could have sent the information to them and they could contact us, or we could arrange a contact. Otherwise, we had to show up, and it's very difficult when you have a 24-hour work period. Nurses that work 12-hour night shift, if you show up at their house at 10 o'clock in the morning, they're not going to be very friendly because it would be showing up at your house at 10 o'clock at night. So it's hard to know what shift they work because that information is not available either on the list. Address and name, that's all there is. So it seems that it would be more fair to all the employees to have their some personal information so that we can contact them and give them the opportunity to get information.
Do you think having their email addresses and cell phone numbers would be an invasion on employees' privacy?
No, I don't. I actually, personally, I feel that it was less intrusive than having an address, because I think when you show up to somebody's house, they're kind of forced, in a way, to respond. But if you receive an email, you can easily delete it if you're not interested. The same with a phone call. I screen my phone calls all the time, whether I want to answer it or not. It's easier to disregard those if you choose to, but it's also easier to, if you are interested, to answer the phone and set up an appointment to, yes, I would like this information.
Do you think employees should have any right not to express a wish to say, I don't want that information turned over if it's their personal information?
Again, my personal opinion, if the employer has that information, I think us as the organizing committee and the union should have that information too. But I do think they have a right if they say, please do not call me again, that you shouldn't, you should respect that right. But the same with the employer, sending messages to my text, I didn't give them permission to do that. I gave them permission to give me my schedule, but I did not give them permission, to send other forms of text messages.
Okay. But for those employers, for example, that don't require as a condition of employment personal email information, they just happen to have it, do you think that should be turned over without the employees having any opportunity or say in the matter?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I find that fair.
Thank you so much. You don't have to stay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.